From Lalate News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings Lalate.
It's a big morning on the Saturday of Mornings LA with incredible details about your fourth stimulus check updated 2021. In this recording, we'll be going over that monthly stimulus check the Democrats still want you to have. We'll be going over when you're going to get it and when you get it as well. Then in the second part of this recording, we'll be going over the two-path process, the recon and the bipartisan agreement. We'll be going over why there's two paths and how it's all wonderful news for you as well. And then in the third part of this video, we'll be going over massive bombshell of breaking news this morning about the voting process of fourth stimulus getting a new twist. You're going to hear all the bombshell later in this recording. Also, this stimulus heats up with another stimulus check for 2022 and the raising up of your benefits lifetime. And then finally, thousands of dollars, $10,000, $12,000 that viewers continue to get. It's your day to get it as well. I'll explain to you how you can get this big money because it's for you. It's a big morning. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and I'm ready for you on this massive bombshell extended broadcast of Mornings LA starting right now. Congratulations, you made it to the weekend. Ready to crush the weekend? Hope you are. How's the weather? You know, here it is very sunny, but it's cooler. It's very cool. Not particularly hot at all. I'm loving the weather. Very sunny, though. So you need your sunglasses, especially if you're a celebrity. You know, Nancy. But how's the weather where you are? Jump in the live chat right now and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. In this fourth stimulus check update of 2021, we'll be going over the monthly stimulus check those Democrats want you to have. Then the second part, we'll be going over the two-path process that anchors fourth stimulus all the way to the finish line. Incredible, great news. And then for the first time on this bombshell of a Mornings LA broadcast, and boy, it's a bombshell. Trust me, it is. You're going to hear a new twist in the voting process for fourth stimulus. You've never heard this until this recording. We'll be heating up this stimulus as well in this recording. That gives you another stimulus check in 2022 and also the raising up of your benefits lifetime. And then we'll be going over the thousands of dollars you can get right now, and viewers continue to get it. It's your day to get as well. And this is LLA, America's only 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America. Live in the morning, like right now, live from you from Santa Monica, California, and then taped in the afternoons. Next, back with you of Mornings Crypto at 9:30 a.m., which is running about 15 minutes late at the moment, and then noontime at 11 a.m. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you to subscribe to this channel. Next up, 1 million. Thank you for all the wonderful subscriber growth this week. Also, like this video. Every like helps, and it also delivers a piñata. A piñata, not a pinto, a piñata. And consider becoming a member. Let's get right into the exciting details about that fourth stimulus those Democrats want you to have starting right now. House bill, Senate proposal. Let's compare them. The House bill provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. The Senate proposal, on the other hand, provides a stimulus check for just July to December. Okay, let's compare the monthly payouts, slightly different as well. The monthly payouts are the following. House bill, $2,000 first month, $1,000 thereafter. Senate payout monthly unknown, but word on the street is it's this. OMG, that's deliciousness. $2,000 over 6 months, $12,000. Or $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. If you're on the live chat just after about 9:20 Pacific Standard Time, get ready to vote House or Senate and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. Now, there is one wrinkle, and that wrinkle is whether the pandemic may be over. If the pandemic's over, then the House bill from Jalapal will be seen as just 12 months of checks, which amounts to $13,000 over 12 months. Compare that to the Senate over 6 months. There you go. I think you have an opinion. I think you have an opinion. Jump into the live chat right now and tell me which one you like, House or Senate, and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. Well, there you go. A lot of surprises across the board, but that one is not one of them. Forced stimulus heats up. Who gets that forced stimulus check? You do. Single individual, 75,000 or less. The Democrats want you to have a forced stimulus check. In fact, the Democrats want everyone who has a third stimulus check to get a fourth stimulus check. Have you voted, House or Senate? Tell me where you're tuning in from. Make sure you do. Jump in the live chat right now. Married couple, 150,000 or less. Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. Just double it. Family of four. Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. Just quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security and Renewable Benefits, Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is a monthly stimulus check, and it's not income, so it's not taxable. Good news there. And the fourth stimulus check is monthly, but it does not come in waves. It's not a waivable check. So if you see the check at the surf shop this weekend and it's checking out a new bodysuit, say, "Hey, check, I see you're checking out a new bodysuit. How are you? Happy Saturday." Check didn't wave back at me. You know that bodysuit don't fit you. You're a little bloated there, check. Don't be rude to the check. The check ain't rude to you. It's just, it's just not a waivable check. It can surf and it can figure out how to get its hands in that bodysuit, but it's not a waivable check. So there you go. The forced stimulus check would come in the month of July for the month of July. The Democrats represent. And would surf to you in the month of July. The month of August for the month of August. Maybe body surf and in the bodysuit. I don't know. You don't look good in that bodysuit. Just leave it alone. The check is not rude. It's just not a waivable check. The check would be going to a final vote by the month of July by July 4th. So there you go. That is the first of your three parts of your forced stimulus check updated 2021. In the second part, we'll be going over the two-path process and understanding how this two-path process formulated and what it means. Recon and bipartisan road and bridges, and forced stimulus and your stimulus checks in the recon where it was last week. We'll be understanding that, and then in the third part of this video, we'll be going over the breaking news about the voting process. OMG, say with the very end, that is going to be a bombshell you're hearing for the first time on this morning's broadcast. But here's a preview of the second half of this video. It's fifth stimulus. And fifth stimulus will have another stimulus check. Plus, it'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. And why are Jake Powell's comments so wonderful? You're going to see all that deliciousness in the second half of this video. But let's get some money. It's Saturday. It's time to get some money. And I want you to get a lot of money. And you have been doing a wonderful job. Viewers have been getting $10,000, $12,000 this week per person. Viewers have been getting $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 over the last 2 weeks. It's now your opportunity to get as well. So get a pen and paper ready. I'm going to go over all that money for you right now. And if you're new to this channel, that's what I do. I got viewers $250,000 of rent in fall of last year when we were waiting for second stimulus to pass. Well, now is about the same time. We're waiting for fourth stimulus to pass as well. And you need this money. So we're going to start with rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and also homeowners utilities. Get a pen and paper ready because we're going to go over all that incredible money. I have been saying that the rent is about $5,000, about 4 to 6 months of rent. But guess what? Viewers of this week have been getting $12,000 a viewer, $10,000 a viewer. So you're going to go over each of these items with me, and each has different eligibility. So if you reach out to one location and they say no, don't worry, reach out to the next. They also have their own pot of money. All right, here we go. Let's go over each of those places to reach out to. You're going to reach out to your city hall, your city housing authority, your county hall, your county housing authority, your state hall, and your state housing authority. The keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You don't say words they don't know, like Mitch's Lobster Fest. I don't know that. I don't think I want to know that. So don't say that, or don't say stimulus. They don't know that word either. And wow, congratulations to that one viewer who got that $12,000 for rent, and that other viewer got $10,000 for rent this week. And congratulations to Tim and Linda who got it as well, some money additionally. But the next part of the money is wonderful. It is money for SNAP. What is SNAP? It is money for Department of Agriculture for your food. How do you get it? Reach out to Department of Agriculture. Lynn Glenn got it for her son and her mom and her and also for herself. Gail got it. And how much does it pay? A fortune. A family of four in Hawaii now gets upwards of $16,000 a year. Why so much money? Because of two wonderful executive orders, one from Biden, one from Trump, that raised your benefits up 15% between now and December. So that family of four in Hawaii gets $16,000 a year? Yes. So go get it. It's wonderful. You're killing it. I'm killing it. $16,000 for SNAP for a family of four in Hawaii, $5,000 for rent. You're killing it. The check on that bodysuit, not so much killing it. It doesn't fit. But let's get some more money, and we're only 10 minutes of this video. And the next pot of money is coming back from your states. The states are returning money back to you that they had initially overpaid due to computer error. The federal government has ordered those states to return the money back to you that had initially overpaid you due to computer error. So where are you getting it? To the account you had on file with that unemployment department. One viewer got $5,000 from this. When are you getting it? Reach out to your respective state for rounding times. And when you call them up, say, I'd like to know where that check is that's due to the computer error you had. And can you track it with a computer that actually works? And finally, one last pot of money, which is the refund check coming back from IRS. That refund check came to Cod, Margaret, and also Michael. Let's go over when, where, and how you're going to get it and how to track it. First, how much money is it? It's a lot of money. Let's say you had $9,000 of total unemployment benefits. You paid $5,000 of taxes, of which $4,000 was your taxes on unemployment benefits. Congratulations, you're getting back $4,000. Where? Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Then when? This month. And can you track it? Yeah, about 70% of the time you can. Go to irs.gov, set up a username and password, go in there, and you will be surprised the information it will reveal. It will reveal the tax return you file, the taxes you paid. That transcript search will also reveal why $12 ice cream tastes the same as $1 ice cream. What really is the name of that Nancy Pelosi hairstyle? And finally, the refund check you're getting from IRS. Can we top that? Yes, as we go into the big, bold, exciting details of your fourth stimulus check, part 2, starting right now. So what started this week as a recon ended this week as a recon. And what started this week as your stimulus checks in recon ended this week with your stimulus checks in recon. So what changed? Stuff that has nothing to do with you. Yes, literally that way. The week started with a massive recon that had a lot of stuff in there, including your stimulus checks. But on Wednesday night, Leader Pelosi and Leader Schumer went to meet with the president in the White House, said that they fear that there's too much in the recon, that it's too bloated, and that certain things need to be taken out of the recon. Sort of like a TV sitcom where there's too many cast members and they need to spin some off in their own spin-off show. And they agreed that they were going to spin some off in their own spin-off show. And with that came the idea of two paths, spinning some stuff out of recon into what's called a spin-off or the bipartisan agreement. The recon remains your stuff, but the bipartisan spun some stuff off. So what was spun off? Stuff that has nothing to do with you. Roads and bridges. So where's all your stuff? Still where it was over a week ago. The recon still has your forced stimulus, still has your stimulus checks, still has the progressive policies of climate and CARES economy. Still in recon. So let's recap. We started the week with just a recon, just one path. But then the Democrats, Pelosi, Schumer, and the president decided the recon is too big. Let's take some stuff out of the recon and spin it off into a bipartisan agreement. And what do they spin off? Stuff that has nothing to do with you. Roads and bridges. So where's all your stuff? Your stuff is still in the recon. It hasn't moved. It's still there. It is for stimulus, the monthly stimulus checks, climate, and CARES economy. Do we have any bills yet? We do not have bills yet. Those bills are potentially the recon procedural, the recon substantive, and the bipartisan. And so with those two paths, is this much the same as we were about a week ago? I believe it's actually a little bit better. Why is it better than a week ago? Because now all those progressive policies, like monthly stimulus checks, which were already in a recon, are only in a recon, and that everything that's not progressive is out of recon. In fact, we got a tip off of this about a week ago. A week ago yesterday, Jalapal made that comment with also that wonderful other progressive out of Hawaii, Schatz, which said the following. The White House considers the White House's progressive policies their own priorities. Interesting. It was as if they were giving us a spoiler that there was going to be a spinoff. The president has progressive priorities, and he wanted Jalapal to protect them, like a fort in a way. And now that fort's very protected, because now all those progressive policies that Jalapal wants, that the president wants, that were in recon are only in recon. That all the big progressive policies are only in recon, and now they're protected to the finish line, staying in recon. 2 paths, and all your stuff that was in recon is still in recon. Wow. How do we get to this great news position? We got to this great position, ironically, from Jalapal. When Jalapal had written Schumer a letter about a week earlier saying, call the vote, Chuck, on the recon. Now, that letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, who are among the 100-plus House Democrats who said to the president in a prior letter, we're going to be putting monthly stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Wow, now that's wonderful news. Can we top that? We can. When 7 House Democrats wrote the president a letter from the 7 House Democrats wrote the president a letter from the House subcommittee that they're going to be putting monthly stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Wow. Now, these people in that House subcommittee are very important. I'm going to be bringing them up in the third part of our fourth stimulus check update later in this video. So remember these people. They wrote your first stimulus check. They wrote your second stimulus check. They wrote your third stimulus check. And now these House subcommittee members represent their writing your monthly fourth stimulus check and your fifth stimulus check for next year. Wow. Now, that's wonderful news. Can we top that? And we can. As Biden did it 2 weekends ago, 2 weeks ago today, in fact, the President of the United States did it. He went overseas to get those countries to raise the global minimum corporate tax rate to, in essence, make it easier and anchor for stimulus recon to the finish line that is paid for by, yes, corporate taxes. Recon is paid by corporate taxes, not bipartisan. Let's go over that wonderful news and how it unfolded. The president's paying for recon for stimulus by raising corporate taxes, to which the president had said, I'm a little bit worried about that. Maybe U.S. corporations may move overseas to find a country with lower corporate taxes. So he reached out to those countries with lower corporate taxes weeks ago and said, can we raise your rates? Can you raise your rates? And they said, tentatively, yes. To which he reached out to his staff and said, staff, can we meet those countries around Christmas and deliver Jill's wonderful potpourri recipe? Well, then the president had a great idea, or someone had a great potpourri recipe, because they said, hey, you can deliver potpourri now in July. We can? So then they decided 2 weeks ago to go overseas and sign into law now. Yes, the president went overseas 2 weekends ago today and got forced stimulus recon paid anchored to the edge of the finish line, because now the provisions about international corporate taxes are no longer needed in recon fourth stimulus. They're in the international agreement, making it easier for those Democrats to pass the recon because the provisions about international taxes are taken care of in there. Wow, now that's wonderful news. Can we top that? Yes, with the third part of your fourth stimulus update, which is the massive, massive bombshell you're hearing for the first time on this morning's broadcast. It's coming up after this commercial break. And also the exciting details about fifth stimulus with that fifth stimulus check and the fifth stimulus raising up of your benefits. But can we top that? Yes, the volunteers. If you need help with rent, utilities, or SNAP, or internet, reach out to the volunteers. They embody the true Purple Power spirit. Viewers helping viewers. Open the description of this video to find them. In the description of this video, you'll see an emoji of a house. Next to that emoji of the house will be a link to the community page. Community page, news.la.com/community. On the community page, you'll see some pictures of some kitty cats. Lower on the page are the volunteers. Reach out to them. They'll help you with rent, utilities, mortgage, internet, and SNAP. Now, they cannot cook you tostada. They cannot give you directions to Nancy's hairstylist. And they cannot tell you what days the casino is open. But other than that, they can get you everything else. And with that, I'll be back in 60 seconds with the second part of your big fourth stimulus check update of 2021 and fifth stimulus as well. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LA Daily for the excitement of the new LA live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LA at 9 a.m. Home LA returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LA at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LA. The toast is toast and the butter is buttering and the coffee's brewing. It's a big morning's LA and big exciting details in this massive fourth stimulus, fifth stimulus update today. A lot more breaking news coming up in the second half of this video as I overdo something again. Yeah, there I go. Sorry. There I am. Coming up in the second half of this video, we'll be going over the surprising breaking news, and it's a bombshell you're going to hear for the first time on this morning's broadcast. Then we go over fifth stimulus, which raises your benefits up a lifetime and also applies a new stimulus check as well. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you to subscribe, be part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Also, like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. All right, let's get into that fifth stimulus first. A lot of details on that fifth stimulus first. They'll be giving you a fifth stimulus check those House subcommittee members represent as well. That fifth stimulus check will be January 2022. The legislative effort starts in September. The voting will be about October, November. Number two, the president has dedicated $1 billion to Social Security Administration to ensure that you get your checks going forward on time. This is fourth stimulus checks, this is fifth stimulus checks, and also your monthly checks. Number three, new data today also signals the same thing we had said about your benefits. Inflation is going to be red hot. What a wonderful week it was, because we went into this week looking for three things for your benefits. One, that inflation hits its highest spot in December when they apply your benchmark. Number two, that they actually pass the bill. And number three, that the inflation rate is potentially very high, like 10%. Well, we got the first of the three items this week when Jay Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, announced that December will be the highest point of inflation this year. When the CPI and PPI, the labor number on Friday, and the new jobless claims number on Thursday all indicated that inflation is heading up and it's reached its highest spot in December. This is huge for your benefits. Let's go over how this calculates right now. That reform of benefits under fifth stimulus starts by raising up your benefits across the board. Then they will apply that inflationary benchmark in December. They'll remove the asset limit, and then they'll remove the income exclusion and remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over how this calculates starting right now. First, they raise your benefits up one big time. This is you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, or multiple benefits, or Calcina benefits. Calcina benefits? Well, then you know that they always apply a benchmark in December for your next year's benefits. And you know that the new benchmark will be inflation. And you know that inflation is going really high. Now we understand that inflation will hit its highest spot in December, which is wonderful, wonderful news. Let's use an example of a number. Wall Street analysts are saying that we're going from 4% to an apex of 10% before coming back down. Let's say it's 10%. Your benefits would step up 10%, not just next year, lifetime. Because once your benefits step up, they never step down. If the year after that, the inflation rate is 2%, then you'll be at +2, +10%. It's wonderful news. Then they're going to remove the asset cap, dating back to a 1980 law that says you can't have more than $3,000 in hand. Now you'll be able to have some stimulus checks in your hand and also a taco. They're going to remove the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. Now you'll be able to work if you want and also stay on benefits. And finally, love is going to win. You'll be able to marry your longtime love interest because the marriage penalty will be ended. People who are already married will no longer suffer the penalty, and viewers like Sandy and Rob will be able to get married and no longer fear the penalty. And there you go. That's fifth stimulus. But boy, there is a lot of money in third stimulus, there's a lot of money in fourth stimulus, and there's a lot of money in fifth stimulus. And how are those viewers getting $12,000 this week, $10,000 this week, $6,000, $5,000 the weeks before? By becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat in the pinned comment. Information is key, and information is money. And knowing the money you're entitled to comes from the community page, written by me daily. Daily, I deliver to viewers a breakdown of the PDFs of the big money that's in third, fourth, and fifth stimulus for you. Because it's a lot more than a stimulus check. It's a lot more than $1,400. When third stimulus was passed, I told viewers you're going to be eligible for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. And now you're killing it. So if you're in the live chat and you've gotten $100 or $100,000 from this channel, jump in the chat and say what you got, because it inspires me and inspires someone else to get that money as well. Consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the channel, pinned comment, to learn about this big money you can get daily delivered from me to you. Which brings me into the final and third update of your fourth stimulus with a major bombshell you're hearing for the first time on this morning's broadcast. So earlier in this video, we went over those two paths. And yesterday and the day before, I explained to you how the voting process would be different for these two paths. Let's go over this again before we get to how the breaking news is shocking. So I had told you on Friday that while first stimulus, second stimulus, and third stimulus all started in the House with the vote, then to the Senate, and then to the President, this one, the parties all agreed to, would start in the Senate for the first vote, then to the House, and then to the President. That's not changed this morning. Basically, they're doing the reverse. Instead of starting in the House, they're starting in the Senate, then going to the House, and then going to the President. No different there. Also no different yet this morning is the marking up and the drafting of the legislation. The reconciliation you saw early in this video with the House subcommittees talking about those monthly stimulus check. They're not working in a vacuum because the House subcommittees were always going to be working with the Senate subcommittees, as I've detailed over the last few weeks. They work in writing up the legislation together because they're both in the same party, and it saves time. So the fact that we're starting in the Senate subcommittees rather than the House subcommittees means much of nothing because they were already working hand in hand. In fact, they're using the same language. It just says Senate instead of House. So what is the shocker this morning? It's the pairing element. I had told you with my props like this, that during that meeting, the president and the legislators agreed that they would vote on the two paths at the same time. And I did my props like this yesterday. They would vote on the recon at the same time as the infrastructure, as the bipartisan in the Senate. Then off to the House, recon and bipartisan at the same time. And then I said on the president's table in the White House, they would see both pieces of paper and he would pick up two pens, one pen for the recon and one for the bipartisan. That is what the president had told the American people on Thursday. And that's what I reported to you on Friday. Well, a new report out today says that that was a surprise, that was not discussed. Now, let me tailor it back for a second. You've heard me cover fake narratives a lot lately. And this report comes from a very conservative slanting, anti-Biden-ish publication. Every story they write is negative to the president. It just is. But what I want you to digest with me is as I go through this coverage, I want you to see that certain quotes are on the record from the president, from legislators, and also from the press secretary. So there is some relative truth to what's going on here. What does the story released today say? That basically the president that the president in getting an agreement about two paths with the GOP did not get allegedly an agreement for the two paths to be voted on at the same time. He got an agreement to do two paths, but not an agreement to be voted on at the same time. That's what the GOP is claiming. The GOP allegedly on Friday morning was so upset about this, they really blew a lid. And that Democrats that were negotiating with them told them to calm down and allegedly got them to calm down. They were upset because of comments from the president, they were allegedly upset because of comments from the president that said, you have to give me both bills on my desk. And if you only give me the bipartisan one, I will veto it. Oh boy. Now, that statement was made by the president. So this is why I'm showing you how to sort of digest the news. He did say that if you do not follow both paths and you only give me bipartisan on my desk, I will veto it. Now, someone else had something to say. And guess who it was? Pelosi. She said, if you only send to the House from the Senate path 2 and you don't send me recon, I will bury it. So, and finally, the press secretary said on the record that if she disputes that this was not discussed. She says it was discussed. And she says that if you try to, as the GOP, only send bipartisan to the House, good luck with that. Not going to happen. Now, what does this mean for you? It means it's really good news. For the first time in a while, we have Chuck, Nancy, the president, the press secretary, and Jalopal all fighting as a fort around this recon and saying, we're protecting recon. We're protecting recon. We're protecting recon. And you're not going to leave recon by the dust and on the side of the road. You're protecting recon. So don't be driving your truck and leave recon on the side of the road. Very wonderful news, which means that not only were we talking about protecting the contents of recon early in this video, the checks, the climate, the CARES economy, all the progressive policies, now they are protecting strategically the passage of the recon. Let me say that again so you understand it. They're not only protecting the contents of the recon, your stuff, really well, but now they're strategically protecting the passage of your recon by saying, you give us recon. Otherwise, we're trashing your stuff. The president, I'll veto your stuff. Oh, and Pelosi, I'll throw your stuff in the garbage. Sounds like Mitch 2020, doesn't it? Yeah, same thing Mitch used to do. He used to throw stuff in the garbage unless he got his way. Now Pelosi says, if you don't do my recon exactly where I want to do my recon, I'm going to throw your stuff in the garbage. So there you go. Boy, I mean, that is a big surprise. And what is my takeaway for it this morning is that it's wonderful. It's really wonderful. Now, it's important for me to always give you the totality of the story so you understand that you hear who is the bearer of the story, a very, very conservative slanted anti-Biden publication. That ultimately there may be a grain of salt to some of the story, or you have to take it with a grain of salt, that some of the stories may be a little bit embellished, but that we do have some quotes on the record about the president saying he will veto a one path if he sent only one path. We have the comments from Pelosi and we have the comments from the press secretary, which is wonderful news for the protection of your stimulus. Finally, Purple Power Push. If there was ever a time to be pushing, it's now. I want to really, again, praise a viewer from yesterday at noontime. His name was WR, and he jumped to the live chat. And what did he say? What did he write? He wrote that he had contacted Senator Coons' office. Who's Senator Coons? Senator from Delaware. Close confidant of the president. Moreover, one of the people who was in the bipartisan negotiation. He expressed WR to the staffer, the secretary, to the senator, the importance of MSC, and actually wrote MSC in his comments on the channel. And the staffer said, Senator Coons is writing the MSC for you. There you go. There you go. You need to pick up the phone and you need to call these staffers and you need to say, We need multiple stimulus checks. This is a person who went out of his way and called up the correct person, the senator who is closest to the president, who's a Democrat, who's also in the bipartisan, said, I want to ensure that when you're doing this in the Senate level, you put those monthly stimulus checks in. And they said, yes, the senator already is. Now, I don't want you to sit back and hear that element of good news delivered to you from WR. I want you to do your own element of good news. I want you to pick up the phone and call these staffers and push. It's important to remember that senators start the process, and their passage is very important for you. So contact your senators. If you have no Democratic senators in your state, contact the keen Democratic senators like Coons or Warren or Sanders. Contact your progressives like Jalopal staffers, and also the caucuses of the Progressive Party on the House and the Senate side. Social media as well. Tag your elected officials, which I just went over additionally. And finally, keep on pushing. Purple Power, you do a great job. And understand the following. To recap one last time, all the wonderful progressive policies that have always been the champion of the progressives, Jalopal, the president, are still in the recon. That is path one of the two paths. They were there 2 weeks ago, they were there a week ago, and they're still there this morning. The only thing removed out of the recon is the roads and bridges, which has nothing to do with you. The protection of the recon is now very clear in not only its substance, but also its voting passage. And so with that, thank you for joining me on this extended morning's broadcast. I'm next back with you with Morning's Crypto in just 5 minutes after this. Join me because, boy, there were two things I predicted this week. What were they? I predicted to you that the voting on this recon is going to be the subject matter Saturday. I predicted to you that something was going to happen. And guess what? Here you go. The voting part of the recon was going to be the big subject matter this weekend. I also predicted to you that crypto is going to go lower, and it is. So there you go. So subscribe. At 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this channel. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video. 3,000 likes. Every like helps, and it also delivers a piñata. And consider becoming a member so that you are delivered daily the breakdown of everything that's in third stimulus, fourth stimulus, and fifth stimulus. And stay here as we go into Morning's Crypto coming up right next. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful morning, and stay with Lalate for more.